Coming up at 9:30 sharp. Jenny Taft, good morning to you. We are rounding up. You are just getting ready to go. Tell me
what are you guys doing there?
I don't know.
I was trying to hide Jenna's coffee cup, and then she, for some reason, reached for a pen. It was, I mean,
underneath his chair.
I hate throwing anyone under the bus, but it was all her fault.
He loves throwing me under the bus. That's quite a coffee cup. Tell us about the show today.
In New York, we have so much to get to today on Undisputed. Will Kawhi and the Clippers take over L.A.? NFL training camps are underway. Skip and Shannon will make their very early Super Bowl picks. Plus, Chris and Mark Schlereth are in studio with us, Undisputed. Coming up next, Jenna, back to you and the guys.
Jenny, I hope your morning is smoother than mine. Time now for Say What? Kawhi Leonard and Paul George got the Heroes welcome in Los Angeles yesterday. I guess you could say Clippers owner Steve Ballmer was just a wee bit excited about it. Say what?
Love you, Daryl. I have these notes, but I gotta say I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool, pretty damn cool. Woo!
This guy's crazy, man.
He can afford that.
But the thing, it's even cooler because he's that rich. He got the $40 billion. He doesn't have to get excited about anything other than his bank.
He loves what he loves this.
Loves it. It's so cool. He is into it, see.
Yeah, did he lose some today? 52 billion.
Oh, 52?
Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought it was 40. It's 52.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Good day. You get ready to make it a bad day.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Dropped a couple B's today, just like that.
But no, he is, man, there are a bunch of...
He owns these teams for a reason.
Yes.
And the right reason.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The NBA's got a lot of guys who it's because of how much they love the sport. Cuban's one of these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Ballmer.
And you see them. They're there. They interact with the players.
Yeah.
They're down on the court. They're watching the games.
Super
you don't
cool.
see that in every franchise.
No, it's really cool. Ballmer's happy, man. He got himself a contender.
Yes.
A legitimate contender. Not the Lob City should be a contender, wasn't. A legitimate contender. First time since he bought the franchise.
Good stuff. All right, let's keep it going with the Clippers. A new era did begin yesterday with LA's new dynamic duo being introduced. It was clear that PG-13 and Kawhi know that they made the right decision. Take a listen to this.
For me, it was a chance to come back home and to be a part of something that was already special. I'm not a guy that come in with an ego, with you know, that I'm the man. Like, I want to be a part of something special. I want to help build something special. And, you know, this is surreal to be home and do it for a team that I grew up and wanted to be a part of ever since they missed out on me in the draft. But that's another story.
With Doc being a championship head coach, you know, that's something that I wanted, experienced coach. And the front office is, you know, very transparent with me. You know, they want to win, want to win again. And it's an opportunity for us to just build our own, you know what I mean, to make history. They haven't been to a finals. They haven't won a finals. So, you know, that was something big and exciting for me to, you know, make my decision.
So, see, I know you watched a lot of this press conference. What stuck out to me was how much of an emphasis both Paul George and Kawhi really placed on the fact that it was team over individual. They both come in there without a big ego. They really are on the same page with wanting to win, wanting to play with each other, wanting to just improve on that chemistry. What makes these two such a good fit?
Well, I think that already what they have in place, we're going to be talking about a number of different duos throughout the season. Nick, he got a list, the best top duos. I think there's 8 of them? Or seven.
Yeah,
I think I had 8.
Okay.
Nick's like, those other 2 don't qualify and everything.
Sure.
That's why I don't have a list. But I think that from an organization, and it starts with Ballmer, ever since he purchased the team, the team through turmoil. Like, he came in as a breath of fresh air, and he is spending money. People questioned 2 years ago, Doc Rivers, do you fire him? He decided, you know, I'm going to relieve him from some of that duty, bring in Lawrence Frank. He's running the front office, Jerry West as a consultant. And now they got a bunch of role players, and now they got 2 stars. Like, this is perfect. this is the perfect situation for where they're going. Not only their personality, but they got a bunch of role players. They need some scoring. They got bench scoring. They don't have starting scoring. And the way they're going to play defense with Patrick Beverley, they already are elite without one practice, how they're going to guard people. And I believe that Doc Rivers will show people he's one of the best coaches. So not only are they a good fit personality, both of them coming back to Southern California, some relationship that they had that people didn't know about through the years, how that's grown. And I just think that overall, the institutional talent they have, and with the mentality of that bench mob and the way they played last year, Golden State winning 2 games in Golden State, that's the perfect fit that I see in the Clippers and the 2 players they signed.
So one of the reasons Kawhi and Paul George are seemingly such a seamless fit is because the way these guys play and the way they conduct themselves, they are fits with every great player in the league. Pick a great player to pair alongside Kawhi, and we would say, oh, that would fit great. Kawhi and Giannis, that would fit great.
But why, Nick? Why?
Because the lack of ego and maintenance, I think, is very important. You don't have to worry about any of that extra burden, the extra stuff. And because he's going to not only handle his business defensively, which is a question for a lot of NBA superstars, but he is, when Kawhi dials in, he's the best perimeter defender we've had in this league since Scottie Pippen. But also, the question with the NBA superstars is, unless you're a big, just wing players, do you have to have the ball in your hands? Like, that is, nobody questions how great Harden is, but Harden and LeBron, for example, it would be a great duo, but they wouldn't fit perfectly.
And the reason why Steph Curry is a better player than Harden, in my book, is because Steph Curry can be effective off the ball. He doesn't always have to be dribbling. And we haven't seen Harden play to the... Steph can play to the same level either way. Harden, you see a dip when he's off the ball. You see lack of movement, lack of interest in the rest of the offense.
So there's 3 guys in the league that that are in this top echelon, or top-ish echelon, that doesn't mean they're the best 3 players, but they fit with everyone. It's Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Kevin Durant. Durant's now on the shelf, so you take him out of it. But it's one of the reasons Kawhi, I think, wanted to play with KD. So there's no question about fit there. And he could have played with Harden, as we learned, if the Rockets would have traded him, because he can fit with a ball-dominant player. So I get why they fit, because Paul George is Kawhi Leonard, just to me, a slightly worse version in just about every category. He's a slightly worse defender. He's a slightly worse three-point shooter. He's a slightly worse scorer than Kawhi Leonard, even though this year he averaged 28. And so I get why they fit. The concern is, for me, twofold. One is, are we doing with the Clippers a mistake we made a bit with the Celtics, which was, wow, look what they did without the talent. Now what's going to happen when they get the talent? Celtics made conference finals without Kyrie and without Gordon Hayward, even if Gordon was a shell of himself once he came back. How much further will they get when we say, wow, took the Warriors 6 games without these guys. What will they do with these guys? Go ahead, Steve.
One of the big differences is, I believe, in the head coach. I believe Doc Rivers, when Doc has been successful, he had duos, but he also had guys that played on both ends of the court successfully. Who were the best 2 players ever played for Doc Rivers? Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, but Chris Paul, and how he played on the defense. So that ability right there is one of the things that's a little bit different. And the guys coming off the bench for the Clippers and the role players, they're veterans. They're guys that have cut their teeth in this league. They know their roles, and they know their role is a role player. And these guys are coming to be superstars. So I think we're going to start from a different point than what the Celtics did.
There's not going to be the juxtaposed agendas and prerogatives like you had in Boston. I totally agree. And Kyrie's one of those guys that comes with he's heavy. Comes a lot of baggage with him. It doesn't seem like Kawhi or Paul George have that. And then the only, to me, X's and O's standpoint for the Clippers is, do they have enough playmaking? We know Kawhi he had set his career high in the playoffs this year with a 9-assist game. He's a guy I think he has 10 games in his career with 7 or more assists. Paul George only has a handful of double-digit assist games. Neither one of those guys has ever been an elite playmaker. Patrick Beverley, who's your point guard, he's a great defender. He's turned himself into a very good three-point shooter. He's not an elite playmaker. Your best playmaker is actually Lou Williams, who's your 6th man instant offense scorer. So that's the X's and O's question. But this they should fit really well. I'm not ready to call them championship favorites, but they are right there. They are one of 3 or 4 teams that should be almost co-favorites, and it's because you know these guys, if healthy, will play well together.
Besides Giannis and what they have there coming back off a 60-win season, the Clippers have more going forward. They have more things, tangible things that you can count on with their front office, with the coaching staff. And that's one of the reasons why Kawhi wanted to go there. Now, they had to get Paul George, but this is exciting to see. No other two superstars, their personality match the mentality that Doc Rivers and this organization is putting onto the court day number 1.
Yep.
So you talking about chemistry? They, to me, have the most chemistry because Doc has created exactly what kind of program these guys would want to play for.
2 of the best two-way players in the league coming together. We'll see what they can do. All right, let's move on to the NFL now. A lot of eyes will be on Cam Newton the next few weeks as he returns to form after having off-season shoulder surgery. Cam, who has already unveiled a new throwing motion, will be on a pitch count in terms of his work at practice. That, according to head coach Ron Rivera. That being said, Rivera's fully confident that his quarterback is, quote, ready to roll. So you think Cam will return to his Pro Bowl form?
This is the thing. I do believe that Cam can win another MVP. I pray he can never win it the way that he won the last one, because I don't believe that Cam Newton wants to be that football player that was the MVP. 2015,
yep,
that was in. No, because he wants to play on that level, but he wants to be able to move the ball a different style. He doesn't want to take as much of a pounding. I know something, Jenna, that you're like, who's going to sit there and tell Cam Newton to stop running? I was like, that's a conversation the head coach has got to be able to have with him, and Scott Turner, the quarterback coach, and Norv Turner. They've been there. This is their second year there, and you could see Cam Newton as an efficient passer. Last year, highest percentage of his career. You could see that those conversations have started to take place, and we can't think just because Cam Newton got hurt, he got hurt being an athletic quarterback. No, he got hurt in the pocket. He got whacked. He got whacked by T.J. Watt there coming off the edge there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the reason why he ended up have to have a procedure done this offseason. But Cam Newton, yes, he can return to MVP form, but he's got to do it as a pocket passer. It's his desire. I talked to Cam last year during the game, and he told me about Tom Brady and these veteran quarterbacks and transitioning from being just a great athlete to being a pocket passer. So you see his fundamentals. Last year they were brushed up on. They looked a lot better. His footwork in the pocket, his misses high, and that's because of lack of footwork, and his elbow sometimes dips down. You can see he is trying to implement those changes. It becomes hard, though, Jenna, as you mentioned. When you're under pressure, you get in a game, you divert back to your old habits, but the coaching staff has been on him, and Cam has embraced the coaching and is trying to make those fundamental changes.
Cam's got a wonderful opportunity this year that he hasn't had in quite some time, which is, or maybe ever, which is he's something of all of a sudden an underdog because he played hurt last year, and it made people forget how good he was playing before he got hurt. He had a career high in completion percentage last season despite the injury by almost 10 points. I mean, his career average is high 50s. He was at 68% last season. Even his MVP year, he was at 59%. He was playing really well, and then he did something athletes from other athletes get credit for, but from the media never get credit for, which is he played through an injury. If the T.J. Watt injury had knocked him out for the season, as maybe it should have, because it wrecked their season. He was not good after that. I think they lost him like 7 games in a row. No one would be saying, Cam Newton, how good is he anymore? We would have said he got hurt. But because he played and played poorly, man, I did that top 7 quarterbacks list yesterday. I said Mahomes, Rodgers, Breeze, Russell Wilson, Brady, Luck, Baker Mayfield. Not only was Cam not on it, the people that criticized it, that responded to me, they mentioned Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Big Ben. Nick, what about Carson Wentz? What about Deshaun Watson? Now we're at 12 names before people start saying, what about Cam Newton? We know he has the ability to be, you called him the best dual threat quarterback in NFL history at his best.
Yes.
The question is how you use the dual part of that. When do you use him as a runner? Is it in your biggest spots? You've talked about that the Panthers are going to be heavy on the analytics this year. So is it more 4th and short runs for Cam instead of 1st and 10 designed runs? And how good will the Panthers defense be, which was extraordinary the year they went 15-1? I believe in a healthy Cam Newton can still be an MVP candidate. The things around him will determine if the Panthers are a Super Bowl candidate again.
We got to go. A lot of teams reporting to training camp. We'll talk about that.